Have you ever wondered why, no matter how hard some people work, they never seem to get ahead financially, while others seem to attract wealth effortlessly? What if I told you that they are ancient, time tested secrets that the rich have been following for centuries to multiply their wealth, while the poor get left behind? These secrets could change the way you think about money forever. And I promise, by the end of this video, you will know exactly how to start applying them to your own life. In 1926, a man named George Samuel Clayson wrote a collection of parables set in ancient Babylon, a city known for its wealth and prosperity. These timeless lessons were later compiled into a book called The Richest Man in Babylon, now a financial classic. If you haven't read this book, you are missing out on lessons that could radically change how you think about building wealth. The story kicks off with two individuals, Bonser, a chariot maker, and Kobe, a musician. They were skilled in their trades, but despite their expertise, they remained poor and struggling financially. Determined to change their circumstances, they sought advice from their childhood friend Akkad, who had amassed an incredible fortune over the years. Akkad was the wealthiest man in all of Babylon. His gold seemed limitless, despite his generous spending and charitable donations. He revealed to his friends that he had once been poor too, merely a humble scribe, but a fateful encounter with a wealthy man altered his destiny. In exchange for inscribing a clay tablet, the rich man taught him, Akkad, the secret to wealth accumulation. The lesson was simple but profound. I began my journey to wealth when I decided a portion of everything I earned was mine to keep, and the same will work for you. This foundational principle is what every rich person lives by. Always keep a portion of what you earn. Akkad didn't build his wealth by living beyond his means. His success stemmed from a disciplined habit of setting aside 10% of his earnings and putting it to work through wise investments. This brings us to the first law of gold. Save at least 1/10 of your income for future investment. The book emphasizes this by saying, gold comes gladly and in increasing quantities to the person who saves it at least 1/10 of their earnings to build a future for themselves and their family. This principle, often referred to as paying yourself first, is one of the core habits that sets the wealthy apart. Paying yourself first is a non-negotiable step toward financial independence. Many people constantly lament that they never seem to have enough money, claiming that no matter what they do, they are always broke by the end of the month. They blame their jobs, saying, I just don't get paid enough. While these frustrations are valid, if you took a closer look at your spending habits, you might find that a large chunk of your money is going to things like weekly dinners, nights out, and other non-essential expenses. So here's what you need to do. Every time you get paid, set aside 10% before you pay the bills, before you take care of the rent, before Netflix. The earlier you begin, the more you will benefit from compounding interest. Plus, when an emergency hits, whether it's a medical expense, a car repair, or even a layoff, you won't be as shaken. The second law of gold is just as critical. Invest your savings wisely. The book states, gold labors diligently and contentedly for the wise owner who puts it to profitable work, multiplying like the flocks of the field. Money, when invested wisely, becomes your greatest ally. Akkad learned early on the importance of making his money work for him. He mastered the art of controlling his expenses and distinguishing between needs and luxuries. And that's where a lot of people get stuck. They fail to see the difference. The rule of thumb is simple. If you don't need it, don't buy it. As your savings grow, you can start to explore safe and profitable investments. Real estate, stocks, bonds, businesses. These are all ways to make your money multiply. Picture your dollars as soldiers you send to battle, bringing back more wealth with each successful investment. But here's the catch. Don't rush into any investment blindly. That brings us to the third law of gold. Seek advice before investing. The book advises gold clings to the protection of its owner when invested under the counsel of those wise in its handling. It's simple. Why risk your hard-earned money based on gut instinct or hearsay when they are experts whose entire profession revolves around managing wealth? Too often, people jump on investment opportunities they had from a friend or saw on TV, only to lose it all. The rich, however, rely on seasoned professionals to guide their decisions, ensuring their investments are sound and likely to succeed. Think of it in this way. Just as you wouldn't trust a chef to perform surgery, you shouldn't trust unqualified individuals to guide your financial future. Now, let's move on to the fourth law of gold. Never invest in ventures you don't fully understand. The book warns that gold slips away from those who invest in businesses and schemes they know nothing about or that aren't backed by experienced investors. I'll give you an example. My friend John had been diligently following the first law of gold, saving up $10,000 over the course of a year. Feeling proud of his accomplishment, John started searching for investment opportunities. He had watched a few shows, read some books, and thought he was ready to dive into the world of investing. And here's where John made a critical mistake. He heard about a can't-miss real estate deal on TV and decided to put his entire savings into it without seeking proper advice. 2 months later, that sure thing turned out to be a flop, and John was left with just $500 in the bank. Instead of consulting a successful real estate investor or seeking professional advice, John had gambled his future on something he didn't fully understand. His lack of knowledge and failure to seek counsel had cost him dearly. And that brings us to the fifth and final law of gold. Gold flee from those who try to force it to impossible earnings or fall for the schemes of tricksters and scammers. In a desperate bid to recoup his losses, John made one last-ditch effort. He booked a trip to Las Vegas, convinced he could win back his money through gambling. Unsurprisingly, this didn't go as planned. That year, John learned two hard lessons. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, and there is no shortcut to wealth. The lesson Orchard shared with his friends from the foundation of the book, and they are the blueprint for anyone looking to build lasting wealth. Countless individuals have followed these principles and transformed their financial lives. Now it's your turn. Don't just sit on this information. Act on it. Begin paying yourself first, seek wise investments, and take control of your financial future. Take these timeless lessons to heart and start building a solid financial future. Thank you for watching, and don't forget, your financial freedom is within reach. I will see you in the next one.